sweet like a buttercup. You're a Barbie doll. Show them all what I'm made of. Strut down the hall. Won't stop till I get enough.
All right, so Nuggets fans, you wanted to get the lowdown on their win against the Orlando Magic.
Yeah.
And we dove deep into the game recap from Denver Stiffs to bring you the details.
Well, that's right.
Get ready for some surprising stats and some cool behind-the-scenes moments.
Definitely. This game had some interesting twists and turns, that reveal a lot about both teams' strengths and weaknesses.
It wasn't just another win.
Right.
Okay, so first things first, KCP facing his old team for the first time.
Oh, yeah.
That had to add a little extra spice to the matchup.
Absolutely.
The recap even mentions a pregame hug with Coach Malone.
That kind of moment really highlights the human side of professional sports.
For sure.
These guys are competitors, but there's clearly still a lot of mutual respect there.
Yeah, and it makes you wonder if maybe, just maybe, KCP had a little extra motivation to show the Nuggets what they were missing.
It's certainly possible.
Yeah.
And his performance in the first quarter suggests he was ready to make a statement. Both teams started a little slow offensively, but Orlando's defense was really impressive early on.
Yeah, they held the Nuggets to just 3 points in those first few minutes.
Remember that?
Oh, yeah.
That was rough.
It definitely wasn't the start Nuggets fans were hoping for.
And then Malone calls that early timeout to try and shake things up.
Right.
Did it work?
To some extent, yes. The Nuggets started to find their rhythm after the timeout.
Yeah.
But they still struggled to contain Wendell Carter Jr. and, ironically, KCP himself.
KCP was locked in defensively. The recap even mentions how he gave Jamal Murray some trouble early on.
For sure.
But then on the flip side, you've got Jokić coming in with a monster first quarter.
Oh, yeah.
12 points, 7 rebounds, doing what he does best.
Unbelievable.
There's even a clip going around on Twitter of this insane spin move he pulled off.
Have you seen that?
I saw it.
Oh, it's amazing.
Jokić is just incredible to watch.
I know.
He makes it look effortless.
He really does.
But even with Jokic's dominance, the Nuggets ended the first quarter down by 1. Yeah, it was close.
It was a close game, and there were a few moments where it felt like things could have gone either way,
Right.
especially with that missed call on Julian Strawther's blocked three-pointer.
Oh, yeah.
Malone was fuming.
I bet he was... Officiating is always going to be a subjective element in basketball, right?
Yeah,
Those close calls can really swing the momentum of a game.
absolutely. And speaking of momentum swings, things got a little shaky for the Nuggets in the second quarter when the bench came in.
Oh, yeah.
They just couldn't seem to get it going.
The turnovers are really hurting them.
Yeah.
Aaron Gordon,
Yeah.
Peyton Watson, DeAndre Jordan all had some costly giveaways that allowed the Magic to capitalize.
It felt like every time they started to gain some momentum, they'd turn the ball over.
Yeah, it really felt like the Nuggets were losing ground during those minutes.
Yeah, but then Jamal Murray hit a couple of key shots and got the offense flowing again.
Murray's ability to heat up quickly is one of his biggest strengths.
Oh, for sure.
When he gets going, he can be incredibly difficult to stop.
He's got that clutch gene for sure.
Absolutely.
The Magic, on the other hand, were still finding success with those corner threes.
Yeah.
They were hitting them at a crazy rate.
It's impressive.
And then, of course, you had that scary moment when Peyton Watson went down with an injury after taking an elbow to the face.
Oh, man.
That looked nasty.
Head injuries are always a concern.
Yeah,
You know?
definitely.
It's a reminder of how quickly things can change in a game and the importance of player safety.
And it happened right before that wild sequence with Jokić getting a technical foul for flopping.
Oh, yeah. What was your take on that call?
Honestly, I was a little surprised.
I was too.
Jokić isn't known for embellishing contact,
Right.
but I can see why the ref made the call. It was a bang-bang play.
It really was.
The flopping rule is always going to be controversial.
Oh, yeah.
And what makes it even funnier is that the initial offensive foul call on Jokić got reversed.
Oh, wow.
So he ended up shooting free throws anyway.
Oh, Jokić, right.
I know.
He turns a technical foul into an offensive opportunity.
So despite all the ups and downs of that second quarter, the Nuggets managed to go into halftime with a slim 2-point lead.
Yeah.
54-52. You had the feeling that the game was still very much up for grabs.
Absolutely.
And the third quarter was going to be crucial for both teams.
Yeah. And the third quarter really is where the game shifts,
Yeah.
This is where Michael Porter Jr. starts to heat up after a relatively quiet first half.
Right. It was like MPJ needed a little time to get going, but when he finally did,
Yeah.
wow. It started with that contested three-pointer early in the quarter.
Right.
Do you think that was a turning point for him, or was it something else?
That three-pointer was definitely a spark. But I think it's important to look beyond just the points. You see, when MPJ is hitting his shots, it opens up the entire Nuggets offense.
Mm-hmm.
It forces the defense to adjust, which creates opportunities for his teammates.
I see what you mean. It's not just about his individual scoring. It's about how his presence impacts the flow of the game.
Exactly. And the Magic, to their credit, they didn't just roll over.
Yeah.
KCP answered right back with a 3 of his own. Remember, this guy's a former Nugget.
Right.
So he knows this team inside and out.
He definitely seemed to have their number early on, especially on defense. It makes you wonder what might have been if he had stayed in Denver.
Yeah.
But anyway, back to the game. After that initial back and forth, the Nuggets really started to put their foot on the gas.
This is where you see the Nuggets' offensive versatility come into play.
Okay.
They can slow things down, be methodical when they need to, but they can also turn up the tempo and really overwhelm teams with their speed and athleticism.
And against the Magic, they definitely seemed to find another gear.
Yeah.
I was particularly impressed with how Russ was running the offense.
Uh-huh.
There was that great sequence where he threw a perfect lob to Christian Braun for the teak. What did you think of Russ's performance?
I think we're starting to see how valuable he can be for this team.
Yeah.
He's always been known as a playmaker, but he also brings this intensity and energy that can really lift the entire team. He seems to have really embraced his role, and you can tell his teammates feed off his energy.
Yeah.
It's contagious. And with Jamal Murray starting to get hot towards the end of the quarter, the Nuggets just pulled away.
The Magic simply couldn't keep up with the Nuggets' firepower.
They were unstoppable.
And then almost quietly, Jokić secures his triple-double in the third quarter.
It's almost like we're taking Jokic's brilliance for granted at this point.
I know, right?
Another game, another triple-double. It's incredible to watch.
He makes it look so easy.
I know.
But believe me, it's anything but. His basketball IQ, his vision, his passing, he's on another level.
So going into the fourth quarter, the Nuggets are up by 16 points, 93-77.
Right.
What's going through your mind at this point in the game? Is it all over, but the shouting?
Well, a 16-point lead is a comfortable cushion.
Right.
But in the NBA, anything can happen.
Of course.
What I'm looking for in the fourth quarter is how the Nuggets close out the game.
Okay.
Do they maintain their focus? Do they execute it?
Yeah.
It's all about building good habits for the playoffs.
Yeah. That's a great point. Winning is important, but it's also about how you win.
Exactly.
Especially against a team like the Magic, who are still trying to find their identity.
For sure.
Yeah, it's those little things, those details that can make all the difference when the stakes are high. So, talk to me about that fourth quarter. The Nuggets had a solid lead. Did they just coast to the finish line, or were there any moments that stood out to you?
I think I'd say they did a good job of maintaining control without taking their foot completely off the gas.
Yeah.
Jokić got some well-deserved rest,
Right.
which is always important for managing his workload over the course of a long season.
Absolutely.
And we got to see some of the younger players step up and contribute.
Christian Braun, in particular, had a fantastic game. He finished with 20 points and a double-double.
Oh, wow.
That has to be encouraging for the Nuggets coaching staff.
It definitely raises some interesting questions about Braun's potential role on this team moving forward.
Yeah.
Is he ready for more minutes? Can he be a consistent contributor off the bench?
Right.
This game suggests he has the talent and the confidence to make an impact.
That's exciting for Nuggets fans. It's those unexpected contributions that can really elevate a team. And even with Jokić on the bench, the Nuggets didn't let up. They closed out the game with a comfortable 113-100 win.
It wasn't a nail-biter.
No.
But it was a solid, well-rounded performance from the Nuggets. They showed their depth, their resilience, and their ability to control the tempo of the game.
For sure.
It's still early in the season, but this win gives us a glimpse of what they're capable of.
So looking back at this deep dive, what are some of the key takeaways you'd want our listener to remember about this Nuggets-Magic matchup?
I think the biggest takeaway is that there's always more to a game than just the final score. We saw individual brilliance from Jokić, KCP's strong performance against his former team MPJ heating up in the second half, and a breakout game from Christian Braun. This game had a little bit of everything, and it gives us a lot to think about as we move forward this season.
It was definitely a fascinating game to break down. And for you listening, we hope you enjoyed this deep dive into the Nuggets' victory over the Magic. We uncovered some hidden gems, explored the tactical nuances of the game, and maybe even sparked some debate along the way.
It's these kinds of discussions that help us appreciate the complexity and beauty of basketball. Every game has a story to tell, and it's up to us to dig deeper and find those hidden layers of meaning.
Absolutely. We're always on the lookout for new games to deep dive into, so if you have any requests, let us know. We love hearing from you and exploring the world of basketball together.
Until next time, keep watching, keep learning, and keep enjoying the game.
above your dog. Show them all what I'm made up. Strut down the hall. Won't stop till